welcome to the Purlsbeforethyme knitting podcast. I'm Elise. Today's video is a very impromptu video. It's not my usual programming, but I did want to drop in and have a chat about this because it's something that made me feel a lot of feelings. So this is going to be talking about the Skall Studio knitwear situation. So for those of you who don't know, Skall Studio is a fashion brand based in Denmark, run by two sisters, and their surname is Skall, which means shell, and they have a really very beautiful range of clothes, and I have supported them for many years, 4 or 5 years, but they are quite high-end and expensive, so I've only ever got things on sale or second-hand where possible. And they do have a knitwear line, and the thing is their knitwear designs are very nice, and I have spoken about a couple of them, and I was actually going to include one in my next video, but now I'm a bit hesitant about doing that because of what I'm about to share. So they went and made an Instagram post. When was this from? It's from 4 days ago. So today is Thursday, so probably Monday. And the thing is, I read this initially, and at first I was like, oh, this is well-intentioned and nice. But then I thought a bit harder about it and was like, actually, I don't like this at all. So they wrote on their Insta, they had a picture of some sheep, and it says, "Attention all knitters. We are looking for skilled Skall community knitters for our new innovative knitting project. We are trying to explore how to produce high quality knits in super local and personal ways, supporting the Skall knitting community that are close to our hearts. We will send the yarn and return label free of charge, and you will hopefully send us your beautifully knitted sweater and in return get a reward. If you are interested in learning more, please reach out to," and then an email address, and then it says, "Send us a very short description of you and your knitting skills. We close for registrations on September 1st. And then signed off Julia and Maria Skall. So this is I think it was very naive to write this and not specify reward. Because reward could be coupons or gift cards or, it feels like what they're saying is, okay, here is some wool, give us 50 plus hours-ish of your time and skills, and we'll give you some token of appreciation. And I don't think that's very nice. I understand that they are a prestige brand and working for them is a privilege in a way, but it's very different when you're the impression I get from this is that they will then sell the knitwear produced by these people. And I don't like that. It would be very different if they had a kind of outsourced network where, okay, do you want a sweater by us? Okay, we have a pool of knitters who we can call on. And then you will pay them for their labor, and then all the money goes to them. Whereas that's not what seems to be happening here. This immediately got a lot of backlash, which I completely understand, because this is an issue in the knitwear industry in general, is, how do you produce a lot of beautiful hand knits without exploitation and without, and while maintaining quality of knits and skill of knitter, because it's not easy, especially with finer gauges, to knit sweaters quickly or mass produce them in any way, because, a good sweater isn't mass produced. So they then had a second post a little bit later, 3 days ago, so 1 day later. And so I want to give them credit for making a response, but I think it falls a bit short. So they wrote, "Attention all knitters, update. After sharing the post regarding our new knitting project yesterday, we realized that our way of communicating wasn't clear. For that, we are truly sorry, and we didn't intend to make anyone feel like we are questioning the value of any knitter's handcraft. We treasure our skilled community, and we absolutely love the beautiful handcraft of knitting. All knitters taking part in our project will be fairly paid for their contribution and time. And to be clear, this is a non-profit project for Skall. The idea of the concept is to share beautiful hand-knitted sweaters made from locally produced wool, given everyone the opportunity to buy a unique knitted sweater made from love and skilled work. The knitters participating in the project will be fairly paid for their work, and Skall will not be making a profit from the sales of the sweaters, as we wish to bring attention to the beauty of craftsmanship and locally produced wool. So partial answers, but also what is fairly paid. This is not mentioned here. Yeah. And I feel like then this got a lot of backlash, and a lot of people questioned, these things. So like one of the comments is, non-profit doesn't mean no profit. You're asking people to give their time and energy to produce a garment and then turning it over to you in exchange for an unspecified reward and then unspecified use of product. Is not only shady, it's perpetuating the idea that labor produced historically by women in crafts like crochet and knit should be underpaid and underappreciated. Good intentions are moot when the execution is exploitative, which I agree with. I think, the fact that like when I make a sweater, I spend money on the pattern and yarn, and then I spend all this time making it, and if I make a mistake I have to redo it. Like, it can take a long time to get things right, and the fact that I would then have to be paid for this in a way that is fair is a very hard thing to work out. And yeah, but the other part of this that I didn't like was Skall responded in the comments to lots of the comments, and their responses were exactly the same to everybody, like copy paste, and it was all like, I'll find one of them because they responded to quite a lot of people. Yeah, it was basically, thank you for your message. We're sorry that you don't think it's clear, and please send us a mail, and then the email address, and then we love hand knits and we want everyone to have, and there's basically just regurgitating that. So I think they're having a bit of a PR crisis management issue. They haven't posted about the situation since that post 3 days ago. I've seen other people respond to this. And yeah, I kind of agree that I feel like the lack of communication and clarity in this time space is not really right. I'm not sure if I really want to support them for now, in the way they treat knitters. Like, even though they say they love and respect knitters, yeah, using kind of people's goodwill as a, way of producing garments, and being unclear on, maybe they just hadn't thought it out. That's also super possible. Like, it's possible that they thought, oh, we'll just see what kind of, dip a toe in the water, see what happens. But I really think anyone in, knitwear could have foreseen this as a response. So, because even when you buy a sweater from them, it is 4,000 krona plus Danish, which is 400 pounds. That's quite a lot of money. So if all that money goes to the maker, that's one thing. But then even that, if you think, 400 pounds for 50 hours, that's under 10 pounds an hour. That's minimum wage, less than minimum wage in the UK. So when you do the maths, it's tricky. And yeah, and I've seen other responses, like, for example, Milena Paulina responded, and she made the really good point that, like, knitting isn't just like something you can do while multitasking. You're using both your hands and you're concentrating. So it's not exactly like you can do other things at the same time. It's not one of those things. So yeah, I'm a bit disappointed. And yeah, I was going to mention one of their patterns in my next video. And on top of everything, their patterns are much more expensive than any other knitwear designers. Like, their patterns are like twice as expensive as, on average, at least twice as expensive as other patterns. So yeah, probably won't be casting on anything by them. I haven't bought any of their knitwear patterns, but I was so close, but not right now. But if they do have a change of heart or clarify any of these things, I'll let you know, and maybe I'll change my mind. We'll see. But yeah, I think this has been a bit of a misstep. So yeah, do you have any thoughts on the situation? Have you kept up to date, or is this not something you follow? But yeah, please feel free to engage down in the comments. But yeah, I just think my overall feeling is of disappointment. So yeah, anyway, I have a much more upbeat and fun video planned for the next few days. But yeah, no more like, yeah, I guess knitwear industry drama. So that's it. Okay, thank you. Bye.